talking about overshadowing and superseding, I mean, that's great segue into our next topic. I don't know what Black History Month will be like next year, but other than the first few days of February this month, I feel Black History Month was sort of had the rug pulled from underneath us this year. I think there has been. I'll let you. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it
You
all.
go
But
ahead.
yeah, I think there has been something else in the news for the past 3 months, 3 weeks straight, conveniently overshadowing everything to do with Black History Month. I think people listening already know what we're about to talk about, but I think the news has been dominated by one subject and one subject alone, which has put Black people once again at the on the back burner of what is supposed to be the 1 month of the year highlighting us.
Mhm.
What is that thing?
The
Hillary?
racist convoy. Yeah, what a disaster. I mean, I want to speak about so many aspects about the convoy that have happened since our first episode. So first of all, GoFundMe was called upon by members of parliament, and they were like, hey, show us these people's plan with this, I think at the time, almost $10 million. And GoFundMe was like, I don't think they've got a plan. We see evidence of hate speech and racism abound. So we will no longer be giving them their money. I don't know what happened to the $1 million that the woman who was
Carla?
Tamara? Yeah.
Tamara?
Yeah.
Carla?
That she was like, that she had cashed out, but the rest of the money gone. I know I heard on the news recently that another like fundraising platform had been started up with more money, and Doug Ford said no, they don't get that money. So also kiboshed. I
No
know.
way, really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
forget the
neat.
name of it, but
I know there was
apparently,
another thing founded that made raised millions within days. How could
yeah,
Doug Ford have shut that down?
I think he apparently did. I saw it on the news.
I guess it was a Canadian charity. Okay, go on. Yeah,
Maybe, or
I didn't even
maybe
know
he
that.
can
Yeah,
just call that it's infringing upon their terms and services or something. I don't know. But he's also
amazing. Go
now
on.
called for a state of emergency. Um, and so then what I've seen a lot of is this whole, as long as everyone's holding these gas jerry cans, they can't take away our gasoline so our trucks can run forever type of vibe. And then they were going to find, the trucks were supposed to leave Ottawa. They were supposed to U-turn and come to Toronto because please come here. That's what I wanted. And I saw the photos from yesterday. A lot of people, but not a single truck. And so the news is sort of like, well, where, I thought it was the truckers. Where are the truckers? I haven't seen a truck, and not a single honk honk. People protesting with their Canadian flags, with their FU Trudeau flags, but not a single truck. So I don't know what that means about the dwindling of the movement. But definitely not good. And I know that I think you have more knowledge about where they're blockading like international border crossing.
Yeah, I do. And, the convoy is a lot of things. So first
Mhm.
off, again, to try to give that balanced perspective, I think we've stated already that we agree with the concept that it may be kind of stupid to have not allowed truckers to cross the border,
Yep.
even though I do believe that 90% of truck drivers are vaccinated, and it's really the 10% that are out there stirring up all of this shit,
As
making it
usual.
seem like it's all truckers united. And there are a lot of multicultural truck drivers that I'm not really seeing at the protest. I think they're working. I think for the truck drivers that are still working, they're probably picking up extra hours and getting extra pay and getting actually maybe raking. Anyways,
Making sure we
so
still have food because society still needs to run because of these people. Continue.
no, it's the convoy is a lot of things. It's people being fed up. It's people seeing it as an opportunity to voice their frustrations. They feel like they haven't been heard by the government. They don't want to get vaccinated for their own reasons, and they're out there and they see this as an opportunity to voice their opinions. And then there's the truck drivers who don't want to get vaccinated, and there's food being taken out of their family's mouth. That sucks. Yeah, I can get behind those ideas, but people of color cannot ignore the fact that this was started and continues to be led primarily by white supremacists. We can't ignore that fact. We can't just take to the streets and party and raise our fists. We wish we could. We wish we could. Uh, Listeners know that you and I are both fully vaccinated, and we believe in the science of it. But I personally respect everyone's opinion. I don't think people should be forced into vaccines. I think they should be educated. And I know you do a lot of important work regarding that, or you at least have a lot of data on that. I think they should be educated. But the blockades, so there's a lot more going on. There, the convoy in Ottawa, and they were in Toronto. There is a border blockage in BC that is still continuing. And there was a border blockage on the Windsor-Detroit border to the States that had been there for 7 days. And a lot of people were complaining. There were truck drivers that couldn't get home. There were truck drivers that couldn't get their medications because they couldn't leave. I don't know if this is true, but I have heard stories that, when the police couldn't really move in because a lot of truck drivers were keeping children in their trucks with them. So I think Child Protective Services was called. They didn't do anything about it. And maybe the truck drivers just had their kids with them because they had their kids with them. But there are stories abounding in the media of like them literally using the children to be safe so that police couldn't move in. But finally, the government, I don't know if Doug Ford, the police, they said enough is enough. So after the 7-day blockade, what we saw in the media on Sunday was the police finally moved in and they broke up this blockade. They said enough is enough. There was a Ford factory down in Windsor or Detroit that had to be shut down. So it's impacting a lot. Again, it's all about freedom and my body, my choice. But a lot of these protests are affecting a lot of people's livelihoods in a lot of negative ways, which I find really annoying. Again, I said this before, blocking on-ramps and off-ramps is a pretty good way to F over people who need access to emergency services, fire trucks, police, and hospitals and the like. So like you said, I feel like the support for this is dwindling down. I also feel that it has completely overshadowed this important month of Black History Month, which is just ridiculous. And I can't get behind a movement that is organized by white supremacist, Pat King, Tamara Lynch. This is really, to me, a political move to attain power for the Wexit group or whatever they may have been renamed to. Emails, money, contacts, a way to spread propaganda. And it's all really ridiculous because in the midst of this, like, we all kind of feel that these mandates and restrictions are starting to come to an end anyways.
Yeah.
We all know the Omicron variant is mild, and there may be a couple bad variants in the pipeline, but in general, we've all now learned that a virus's goal is to survive, and so over time the COVID variant is going to get milder and milder. We've got people in the government even before the convoy saying like it's getting to the point where enough is enough. We're starting to attain herd immunity. You got the CDC saying that by March or June the pandemic will be an endemic, meaning that it's always going to be here, but we know enough about it now and we have our vaccines and there's herd immunity that we should be able to start to go back to living our own lives. So really, what the fuck are like, what's the goal here? It's a party in the street for a bunch of, but it's been 2 years. If you really felt like this, maybe you should have done it a year and a half ago. Society is already moving to a point where we are going to lift restrictions, I believe, in the near future. And then these guys are going to try to take credit for it ignorantly, where this was the path society was heading towards anyways. They're going to call it a win, but it's really just a month of stirring shit up for no great reason, I believe, although I do support some of the initiatives, although I can't support the overall rally.
Yeah. Well, they already have started to claim, like, because Saskatchewan is ending vaccine passports and all of them are already like, that was our doing. And I'm just like, I really don't believe so. I don't believe so. I wanted to offer a different perspective since we were saying about it being balanced. And this isn't me about to say I support the convoy, but I had a very interesting conversation about Black people who do support the convoy,
Yes,
and
I want to
those
hear about this.
Black people actually being told by white people who don't support the convoy that the Black people are being tokenized by the convoy. And I don't like that. So let me reiterate. You're a Black person and you are saying out loud that you support the convoy, and another white person who does not support it is saying to you that you are being used. I feel like that's erasing Black people's opinions, because not all Black people have to disagree with the convoy. You and I disagree because it has white supremacist roots. Some people can separate the art from the artist and say, I am against the mandates. I am for the freedom to rally in this way. Sure, there are white supremacists there, but I'm not a white supremacist, so I support this movement. Telling Black people that they can't hold that opinion to me is very, very bad of white people to do, no matter what side of the convoy debate you fall on. I find it very weird to feel like because a Black person is supporting the convoy, you can tell them that they are being tokenized, because a Black person can hold that opinion. They are not being forced by the convoy to hold that opinion. That's tokenization. If the people of the convoy were to start being like, look, here's a Negro in the streets who approves of our mission, that's tokenization. But Black people using their own social media to say we're frustrated by the mandate and we support truckers, that's freedom of speech. That is exactly what we're all supposed to be fighting for. And I was baffled that white people are out here being like, nah, you're lying, you don't really feel that way. That is a whole new level of like, spaghetti-o, that's not right.
That's really interesting.
Isn't that
That's a
crazy?
good point. It's pretty wild. And yeah, don't ever be, this, don't ever be
Yes.
afraid to state an unpopular opinion. I know I've done that multiple times over the past couple of years. I've done that. We don't like Black people don't have to have the same opinions, and they can have shockingly different opinions. So one of our main focuses on the show here, especially when we have groups, people can be afraid to say contradicting opinions to our show, but I know that I'll never judge any Black person who has a different opinion. I may argue them or dispute them or not agree with them, but we love hearing that. So yeah, I've heard that too, that that Black people at the rally are they're being, and they are being tokenized, because that's what tokenization is, using them as an example. But to them, it's taking away from their ability to choose for themselves and have these varying opinions. Yeah, they separate the art from the artist, and they say, yeah, this guy's a dickwad, Pat King and Tamara Lynch, but this is my opportunity to voice my opinion. I'm not being heard. I don't support what the government's doing. Great point. I think that's a great point to end it on, to be honest with you. I think we gave some good content today, although that's probably biased.
We think our podcast was fantastic. And if you do too, hey, we have a GoFundMe.
Yes.
I'm going to use this moment to be like, hey, we have a GoFundMe. And it's very weird to say donate to a GoFundMe, but do it so we can pay contributors and have other cool content and do lots of fun stuff with this podcast and spread a diverse amount of Black opinions that maybe we don't always share. But that's the point of the podcast. We're not monoliths.
We are currently very grassroots. There's no funding behind this organization. Maybe we'll talk more about that in a future episode, but go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you to our one backer, Meredith Bat, friend of the show. Thank you so much for your donation. Be like Meredith Bat, give us money. Please and thank you. If you like our content.
Yes, if you like our content, or if not, just support what we're doing. You can find us on everywhere on social media. Of course, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. Am I forgetting a big one?
I don't think so. We don't have a LinkedIn.
And where can people listen to us?
Google Podcasts, Anchor FM. I think you're allowed to through there as well, but also Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating. Give us a review. Do you like this? Do you not like this? Tell us.
Share content on your friends' pages. Anything you can do to help grow the channel. Our Facebook's quite new. Thank you so much. I'm not sure how to end this. Tune in next week.
Yeah, tune in next week. We'll have a guest. Unless something goes wrong, it should be Bianca from the PEI Black Culture Society, and also Black Collective Media, who's been doing a lot of fun stuff for Black History Month. So we're really excited to have her on.
Amazing. Yeah. So we're here in New Brunswick. Our first guest was living out in Nova Scotia, and then we had another one. Oh nope, that's completely wrong.
No,
Anyways, that
Whitby.
was your CBC guest. But yeah, so
Yes.
for between our CBC and this, yeah, we're getting all over Nova Scotia. Our next guest from PEI, we got to find someone from Newfoundland. That's it. Check
I've
us
got
out.
someone on the list, so we're just going to work on that.
Amazing. Yeah. Blackatlantic.ca.
Yep.
That's the hub where you can go to check out everything. And we should stop babbling. So
I will say thank you to Savannah Thomas for posting our first blog on the website. Go
amazing.
check out the work that she's doing, and also all of our cool Black history facts on our Facebook and Instagram page that are coming out are from her as well. So one of our contributors. We hope to have many more. If you're interested in contributing, let us know. But thank you to Savannah, and thanks everyone for listening.
Peace.
Bye.